Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode number 57. I am your host Rage Baldi as always. Joining me this time is the usual crew of DXTakamina to the right, Derek on the bottom left, and that Canadian guy on the bottom right. Good morning, Derek.
Yay!
Morning.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Man, so
Ohayo
early.
gozaimasu.
Or as the tough Japanese guys say, oos.
Us.
Who's?
Yeah, last week it was for me waking up early, and now the roles have been changed, and it's way too early for you to be actually on the show. But man, you do have a lot to talk about, I believe.
Oh man.
Indeed, I do.
We'll get to that later. First off, let's get to it right away because the 49th single MV came out. And what do you guys think?
Oh, I loved it so much. The MV, I loved it so much. It was really summery, and the colors just popped right at you. I was like, I can watch this multiple times, and just with the sound off, I can watch it multiple times. So, really loved it.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah. What do you think?
There's so many hashtags in the song. I'm just saying. every like I tried to do like on Twitter. Like I literally had
same.
a notepad open. And, like so like this. There's literally like every frame. There's a hashtag. I'm like,
It was way
what
too much.
the frick?
It was way too much.
What
But,
were
like-
the hashtags going to? Yeah, did you catch some of it? Because I couldn't understand it.
The first one was really funny because like we're cause onai what do you call that? Onaji classmate or something, like
Oh,
we
sure,
were classmates.
Yeah.
Like are we actually classmate? Hashtag like are we classmates really? Like is this really a trip? Not really a trip.
It's a summer's nightmare with all those hashtags.
Yep.
Yeah, it was super funny though, cause like some of them were like directly at Shashi, and some of them were like just like whatever is the frame. They're like, whatever the frame is, there is literally describing what it is on the hashtag. So, yeah, I think that's what the hashtags were.
Right on. Yeah.
Derek?
No, I was gonna say to add to what DX said, like it's visually, my God. I mean, I kind of reminded me of I know it's gonna be a weird analogy I'm making here, but just follow me with this. When Lord of the Rings came out and they did that like ultra high definition version of what, or maybe it was The Hobbit or something,
Oh, yeah,
and it like
Hobbit, yeah.
actually hurting your eyes because it
Yeah.
was so clear. Like it was so vivid that I was like, wow, but that actually worked out well when they started to do all the other members, especially the ones in the water.
Oh man. Oh man.
Whoa! But
Yeah, dude.
I would say overall it was fun. It didn't make me necessarily like the song still, but I could watch this MV all day long. It was like well done. Didn't really catch the whole Sashi and Mayuyu like. The whole point. I mean, yeah, I guess I do, but it's like it was obvious, I suppose. But I thought, was there more of an underlying meaning there that I didn't find that came out? But I was just so blinded by the visual of it all that I guess like I've watched about 3 times. I was thinking, I'm just gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna enjoy it because, gosh darn it, is it not the most gorgeous MV like ever? So.
It's
Yeah.
been a while since we had this good of a quality from AKB.
Oh my God! I know.
Last year?
Yeah, pretty
Love
much.
trip. No, the whole banter with Sashi and Mayu at the start, and then I only watched it once. Every time it starts, I'm like, okay, when does the real song start? And then skip, and then the song ends, and then I'll just close it. I don't want to hear the whole banter, sitting on the beach and talking about stuff. But yeah, oh, man, if this weather was during the Sousenkyo, it would have been one of the most gorgeous
Yep.
events ever. Sadly,
Oh,
though.
definitely.
So I know why they tried to do it, to have the concert there, but the timing was just off. It's like weather is hard to control, and they took a risk and they failed. But
Sadly,
man, it's so beautiful. Just the shade of green with all the ocean blue and
Uh-huh.
the sky, and just the combination, and with their outfits, it all blends into this giant color in your face. Not so much more. I had problems with high tension because it was flashing, but this one, it eases in, so it's calmly bright colors, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is really one of the most beautiful MVs I have seen in a while, and like people say, and we mentioned with Josh Box said it on his video as well. The old school, the golden generation type of MV. Their style of MV, it gives the feeling of Ibuken maybe, and they pan out, different shots, and then they show individual members close up. That's the old school style of AKB, and they showed it here again, and it still works. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can follow it. I can see all the members who ranked in. With Love Trip, it was like, okay, who's that? And who's there? And quick pan here, you see all the focus on the students instead of the members who ranked. But this was, everyone had, their shine of moments. I think one of my favorite is still seeing Takahashi Juri and Okada Nana just, swaying and playing their guitar.
Yeah.
Just it's a feel-good video, and the music fits in. So the song itself, it gets stuck in my head. And now because I saw the MV, every time I hear the song, I'll think of the MV, and it makes it instantly a better song.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This time the MV actually helps the song, and it doesn't happen that often. So.
It helps in a big way. I was gonna say two things about that. One is compared to High Tension, though, Robin, for me, like I actually like the insanity of High Tension's like MV. Like I know, like when we had discussed it, you mentioned that it was kind of distracting with everything going on, and I can see your point totally there. But I think in the case of High Tension, I don't know, it worked for me. I liked the craziness of it. I also liked it was more of a nighttime thing. But this is like the polar opposite, and I think if you wanted the polar opposite, you definitely got it with this MV. Because it went old school with the close-ups and then the groups and stuff. But the second thing I wanted to actually ask you three was there a particular member shot? I guess, Robin, you've already mentioned just now what you like, but I guess with DXTakamina, was there a particular member shot in the MV that you cared for? Because for me, it was Ogi, actually. There was a gorgeous shot when she was just her first single frame shot. My jaw hit the floor, just... Her face was so radiant, and I'm like, "Oh
same.
my god!"
I actually considered Ogiyuka to be a more variety style member, but this MV, man, it blew me away. It really blew me away. It's like I didn't know Ogi could be like that. Damn, what the hell? Wow, just wow.
Yeah.
For me, it's the whole when I watched the whole MV, I'm like, oh my god, this is it literally showed you like this two are like they're both gonna be gone soon. Just by the water thing too. Like they were saying in one tweet said, the water symbolizes the eternity and like leaving something behind or something that what
turtles.
made me
Turtles. Yeah.
That's what made me oh yeah. Chashimayo is one of the rivalries of AKB that it's one of the greatest rivalries in AKB. Nobody beats that at least. So
well, maybe Oshima Yuko and Maida Atsuko.
Yeah, but they're those are the legends, they already built the thing, while the Shashimayo rivalry is the next one after that, So that's
right.
Yeah.
The whole video had to look back kind of feel. You can really sense it was the final appearance of Mayu in the PV, I would say. So, or it felt like that one exactly. So.
There will be one more, I think. That will be her graduation single, and then she has her own solo, I think. Again, this year, a lot of great names are going to leave. I'm still saying it. Saine is leaving very, very, very soon, I think.
Yeah. Without question. I'd be really surprised if she didn't, Robin, actually, because I think she's crushing it on every level. She doesn't really need NMB or AKB. Well, she hasn't for a while, but I really agree with you there. And I actually think the surprising member I think is gonna stay longer would be Yukirin, only because I just get a sense that like NGT, even though NGT is fine, I feel like she has a real chance to shine with now that the upper management level of AKB, so to speak, is getting cleared out. You know, like if she's smart, she would stay.
Well, I think one more year. She won't participate in Sousenkyo anymore, but maybe one more year there, because she is now, I would say, normally she's also the idol. I would say she's also the senpai to go to.
Yeah.
At the thumbnail performances, you know, now with the fresh new look of her hair being cut, looks gorgeous on her. She still has this feeling, you know, I want to hang out with the kids. Literally, that's what you can say. It's
NGT basically.
Not only NGT, but you know, performing with 16 Gen or performing with Team 8 and with the thumbnail performance, it's pretty fun. You see like a lot of members who are like the new gen, and then you have Yukirin there, so it's pretty obvious and still fun. For NMB though, Shiramameru was also, you know, shining brightly in the MV. Well, it does help when you're, you know, lying in the water wearing a little.
You forget Yoshida Akari, you know.
she was there, but Shiramameru noticed me. I noticed her more.
Yeah, I just like the Shiroma like now is like the go-to girl for let's not wear any clothes basically, because like she just has the most banging body and like she has no qualms about showing it off, and I actually think that's not a management thing. I have a feeling she's proud of herself.
No, that's the NMB style. It's like a lot of pervy people are in NMB.
Yeah.
The Osaka people, you know, like the whole management.
Yep.
Every freaking year, we have to release a Mizugi shot or like a Mizugi single.
Yep.
It works.
It works, man.
It works.
No, I think this on music video parts, this will be one of my favorites, top for maybe for the year. I think can I compare with something else that's if I go too quickly, it would be
a really good one actually.
The one that came out.
Well, the thing is with Fukyo Wyon, it's the music video fits more to the music, and this is the complete opposite. The music, the song fits more to the music video.
I'm just saying, on Negai Goto, the dance made it better. So the one with the marionette thing, they had to do it. They had to do it twice on Music Station. The one with just the choir and the one with the marionette thing. I'm like, what? So this is how you promote your single now? You have to perform it twice?
Yeah, that's the third five. No, it's interesting. I'll definitely at the end of the year I'll put this one on the list. But maybe there's something else. I'm forgetting something, I think. Yeah, they also did then on All That Nippon the Undergirl song. They played it.
Was it UG?
What?
Yeah, upcoming.
Is it upcoming or?
Yeah, that's
upcoming girls, not Undergirls. My bad. It sounded good though. It was like a very happy song to me. That's can't wait for the MV.
Yeah, it was influencer style, I would say. I really liked it though.
And now that I said that, I think after we finish recording, it will be like, hey, here's some MVs for you.
Yeah.
That will probably happen.
I'm sure it's a guarantee at this point.
Yeah.
I think it was last week. We ended, and then like a few hours later, here's the 49th single MVs.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
This curse.
It's our own curse, man. It's the 48 talk curse. Yeah.
blessing for everyone else though, because it's like we make things happen fast. Like we have our own little like Karen thing going on, you know.
Maybe it's someone in management. There's like, okay, refresh, or maybe it's notification on YouTube. It's like, oh, new episode, upload it.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're gonna upload the showroom next. You know, the private room song.
The private room.
Yeah, it's actually called the private room or something.
Oh,
like
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right. Yeah.
the showroom, because showroom is basically your private room. So like, okay, it makes sense somehow, right?
It's so crazy. Anyone else on the upcoming girl song?
Like it, to be honest, like for my impression was that it's there. I like it better, obviously, than Sukinanda. Although that's not saying much because again, Sukinanda didn't really set the bar too high for me to like anything else above it. Again, though, MV told their story. I love MV, and I agree with you, Robin. Definitely one of the better highlights of the year for sure of MVs that have come out from the AKB camp of any of the groups. However, with this song, it was just it. Considering the massive amount of talent in the group, that it just I don't want to say underwhelming, but I have to give it more of a listen. It's growing on me. It's just not grown on me completely yet.
It's not an instant hit.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not an instant. But then again, AKB hasn't really had an instant hit in my opinion. It's this Love Trip. So
I would say the last time they did that was Bokutachi wa Tatakanai. That was the instant hit.
Yeah.
You're way more critical than me, and that's cool. I would say Love Trip was in the minute I heard Love Trip, I was like yes, and yes, this worked because it was Siane all day long there. Like I know it's not a song, but I heard Siane, and I'm just like anything with Siane where she's elevated is a good song. But I would say like it just they haven't had a real solid streak lately, and and I mean, you never know. An MV could come out of nowhere and change it completely. But I think for that to happen, they're going to have to, like, basically steal both Keia's songwriters and Keia's video makers and basically say, can you help us out, please? Like, we're really far behind. We suck.
Takahiro-san, we need your help.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on
Yeah.
over. Just for one song, get us back on track. Because they put out some clunkers, like, the past years.
Yeah.
I don't know if this qualifies as a clunker though, either the 49th or the coupling, because it's definitely way better than the song before it, the 48th.
Yeah.
It's just way better. But I would say it's just also more of the same. And I was looking for more of something new and fresh and innovative. I mean, for crying out loud, if you can make the MV as gorgeous as you did and make that so blinding, why not give us a song that matches? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, at least they didn't try something new. What you said, it's like they tried something with the last single, trying that style. They tried something with before that, or maybe a jazz version, or go back to the old school ways because we like those songs. And now I heard some people, oh well, this sounds the same like every other song like before. What do you want?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
there'll always be critics, I would say. They'll always be critical, so yeah.
Well, no, you know what it is? You know what it is, though? It's like this. It's like the brand new Star Wars that came out, the latest episode, was basically A New Hope repackaged for the newer generation. This is what Sukinanda is. It's like a repackaged version of all the old classics for the new generation of fans that are following AKB. So I'll tell you this. If you had come into AKB's fandom, I'd say circa 2015 on, you probably would not have a problem with this MV whatsoever. If you've actually watched Leota MVs and you came in, especially during that time, you're going to think, I've already seen this. So it's going to be harder to please, I think, the older fans, especially the fans that are not necessarily older, but really love the retro, the golden era of AKB. Yeah. But me personally, I'm just looking at it from a musical standpoint as a musician. That's my number one go-to whenever I anything. Can you give me something that I can hum? It's catchy, all that stuff, and everything else follows afterwards.
Well,
and they just have to, like in that regard for me.
It's a good segue about that. If you still have the feeling for those old music videos, hey, a Blu-ray is coming out with all those old music videos.
That's right. Oh, that's right. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
It's gonna be expensive. That's gonna be
expensive. Yeah. Maybe you.
No, my
buy
rule,
Mion's.
What?
Buy Mion's DVD.
Wow.
the concert, maybe. No. My rule always with new songs is I like to imagine it when it gets played at a concert. And do you feel like hyped or energized? And with the last song, it was like last song, the 48 single was like, oh no, not this song at the concert. You'll get down, or it's a interlude between the concert. When they played this one, this could be an opener, or this could be the first song in an encore, and you're like excited, got like, hi, Hi. No, Derek, you can talk about it in a bit. I think we're getting there.
Interesting you say that.
All right, let's talk about it. Derek, you were at Tokyo Idol Festival. You lucky. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah. Beep.
Tell us your story.
Yes.
Yeah, like, well, it was a good seg there because I didn't hear Tsukinanda once all 3 days, and I find that very interesting that you just come out the single and you don't even play it. So I don't know what that means. Maybe they just weren't ready. Maybe it wasn't part of the repertoire. I did hear a lot of the old songs over and over and over again, which not complaining. But basically the Idol Festival for me like was a hard decision to go to because it was so much money to go, and I really wasn't seeing like as many groups as let's say most people would go see. But here's the thing: even if I was able to see all the groups, I don't think I could have done it personally because it was like literally 100% humidity, 100%. Like it was so hot walking around Odaiba like all day. I was so whipped about midday for all 3 days, and like also I didn't go just for the AKB groups. I went and saw a bunch of other groups that I'm really in love with. So that particular aspect was incredible, but I'm not going to talk about it here because I want to focus on AKB. I will have a massive write-up on not only my Japan trip on my blog, but I'm also going to do a section on the Tokyo Idol Festival because I have too many good memories from it. So I'll have like a whole ranking of all my performances. As far as AKB goes, I saw. I guess I started with Kea Kizaka, which kind of sucked at first because they weren't letting anyone into the hot stage area. It like literally the line was so long that when Kea's overture came on, like I was still in line, but I could still hear.
Oh.
I could still hear it perfectly. And then when their first song got on, I got in just in time. I was blown away. But the only thing is the hot stage area was so big. It's basically a big parking lot. And it was filled all the way to the back. Like I was way in the back, but
there weren't enough trees there. There were not enough trees there, to get some air. Like it was an all open parking spot, and yeah, that's why everybody was, like, need some air.
Odaiba is like a man-made city, right? No.
Yep,
right?
it's man-made. Yeah, it's man-made.
On an island, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
but they did have the hot stage near the water, so occasionally you did get a breeze every once in like 20 minutes if you're lucky. But it was basically just being out in a desert, just it was so hot. But like Kea did really
hot
incredible. Yeah, the hot well, no pun intended. That's the same. Exactly.
Oh,
I would say that they really shone really well when they did Futari Saison. That actually almost moved me to tears because it was so perfect. Is Futari Saison the choreography where everybody puts their hands up? Okay, so by the time they started doing that song, I was right behind a WOTA cheering section, which basically I had this encounter all day, every day at the festival. I just had the best luck, or not best luck, depending on how you look at it, of massive packs of WOTAs. Yeah, which surprisingly, actually, I didn't really see too many light blades because no one wanted to do that at all. Like real concerts, they don't really have those because they're like getting down. So what happened was there was like a pack in front of me, and they all started to do that move. There was like probably 50 or 60 of them, and they were all doing it. And there was a girl like in front of them, and she kept looking back, looking like she wanted to do it. So when they did it the second time during the choreography, she went back and did it. So then what happened was they all started like forming around her, like she was Techi. And then like, the funniest thing happened when they did Silent Majority. She knew all the moves, and so did they. They literally did the dancing for her, and I was laughing so much because there's the one part where Techi like walks forward in front of the group. She walked forward in front of all the WOTAs, and they were down like this to her, and like, and they were like dancing around her. And I was watching them more than Kea because honestly, they were cracking me up. They had everybody watching them laughing because this girl knew all the moves, and so did all these dudes. So it was like everything the girls were doing on stage, the guys were doing, and then the girls started doing it. It was
double vision, like which one do I need to watch? Which is Kea?
It was funny because like pretty soon like a lot of the crowd in the back were just watching them because they were having so much fun, you know. And but I would say Silent Majority was probably the best performance next to Futari Saison, obviously. I would say they knocked it out of the park for Silent Majority though. They had that whole place going nuts. So it was good. It was good.
From the thing I can only see online is the thanks to AKB48 Daily for showing me that. It's a new song. I don't know what the title is, but they get into one line and they do the arm wave. That was a pretty good song. Yeah. Pretty hype song again. Going faster and faster in there. Well, let's get into then a big topic about this. So from our viewpoint, the first pictures came online and it was a lot about Techi, hair from the face, not getting into it. And then I saw the stage performance. She's doing the moves, but you can definitely tell there's something not right. It feels like there's something missing, and the other members are trying to carry up or just cover it. You know what? You just focus on Sugai and let's pour. Oh, you cut your hair? Let's put her there. Or it felt like Techi was more like I'm here, but I don't want to be here at the same time. What's your guys' opinion on this? And then let's go Derek for last because he was there live, so he has a different view on it.
Well, maybe, yeah. I don't know if it still has the after effects, but I don't know, man. Maybe she is having a big burnout in combination with the after effects. So I would say put her out for a while and let her rest up or heal up completely because I don't know, man. I don't know. It's more like let her rest. Let her rest.
You?
That's my opinion.
I'm just saying, why are they forced? Let's call the child labor laws because she's still under 18.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I read that somewhere, so I'll say it here.
Do you think she's being forced to participate, or do you think she's so passionate in performing that she's like being stubborn, like no, I'm fine. Let me just perform this, or I'll take a break later.
I think for me it's kind of 50-50. But oh wait, no, 60-40, like more of the management side, like than 40 for me.
You think the management is forcing her to perform more than on her own?
Like if you can, like it's more like if you can't perform, try it kind of thing with the management. That's why I'm saying 60-40, because like she probably wants it a bit, but not as much as management does.
Well, the thing is with Techi though, every time she's talking about her personal life, she's saying, I do nothing. I sleep, I listen to music, and I watch her own performances. That's what she does. And she does talk more about Kea than her own personal life. I actually know very little about her, except that she loves performing. So that's why I'm thinking it's more her saying like, no, I'll be fine. I won't be as talky as much. Don't give me MC or stuff like that. So that's why the other concert they didn't put her in the encore and the MC part. She still wants to go out there, and management is putting a lid on it. It's like, okay, you don't want to quit. Well, don't do this. Just do the song and then sleep or leave. Because there was you didn't see this, Derek. There was on Twitter the guy. Who's the guy? He's from Mecha Ike as well. Doing stuff. No, not Ukumura. It's the guy who's always like in costumes, and he was also with the Baka couple with Kawaii Yurina.
Oh, Hamaguchi.
Yeah, he was there backstage during the whole segment, and he was filming for Showroom. And Kea came up, and Techi was just waving hi, and just saying nice to meet you, thanks for the hard work. So she looked fine, but tired. Derek.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. So like here's the thing. I agree with Yayo that like in Japan, I in just being here and just my general conversations with people, I think management can wear you down to a nub in the sense that like they won't tell you like, oh, well, just go ahead and quit, but they won't say, well, you have to perform. They'll talk around it. for hours probably until she agrees. And then and they'll make you almost feel like it's your obligation. Also too, there is that obligation sense, and perhaps I would say this maybe because she is Japanese, thinks, you know, the group is the more important thing, not the individual. Very, very, very true with all these groups. But with Techi, here's the thing, like okay, let me put it this way. How many times you can probably count on one hand how many times she's actually smiled on camera. You know what I mean? She's not not the cheery, happy, put on flowers and a nice summery outfit and, you know, frolic around in the yard type idol. She's more like, you know, I'm in bed, I'll get out, I'll do what I have to do, and I'll go back to sleep, watch TV, and just chill. That's just her.
There was a program she was on with other guests, and one of her favorite bands was there, like a guy in a clown mask. And it's like, they showed a clip, and it was like this very hard metal, I would say. Was it death metal that she was listening to? You know, it's a very dark music she listens to, that she enjoys. So maybe this is the first ever goth idol, I would say, maybe, or
like real goth.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like but
yeah.
I was gonna say, here's the thing. Like, it was funny because I was watching it, you know, when I was there, and there was a huge screenshot they had on the big screen of her, and she's just there, just like, you know, doing the whole like hair over her face pose, and you heard people laughing because it was like, oh, yeah, that's Techi. Like, look at her. She looks like she wants to kill everyone or kill herself, one or the other.
She did stood out though.
Yeah.
She stood out. In a big way.
At the end, they were, you know, has the towels. They had the
Yeah.
towels, and she covered her own face with it. I think she was showing fatigue.
She barely said. I don't think she even said 2 words the whole thing.
No.
Like, it was all
No.
Sagai. Like, and basically they definitely focused on everyone else.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's cool though. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, I don't really have a problem with it because I think Techi represents something different. She's something new, and she shows you don't gotta be this flowery person, and she's interesting. I think Akipi would say the same. I think that's why she's in Kea. I think they saw that in her already. Like she's not gonna be this idol that's just gonna, you know, do the whole Hane Tatamae thing. She is who she is. And I love that about her. I will say this, it would be a huge blow to Kei if she graduated, even though it seems right now she's not necessarily contributing to this whole, you know, group thing, but she is the group.
You're thinking about it, yeah. You're thinking about the same thing, actually, that I'm thinking about. It feels like now, you know, that paper, when you put it on flames, you see like a big flame and then it's gone. It feels like that they're doing this now with Techi, and I'm afraid maybe it's like, oh yeah, well, we had 4 singles, Techi's out now, she's gone, she can't do it anymore. What I'm thinking will happen is she won't quit, but she will take a step back. I think next single it will be someone else. Maybe Neru, maybe Sugai Yuka will be stepping up front. And then Techi maybe in the 2nd row or 3rd row, because they're doing it with certain coupling songs. I noticed with the latest one, you know, the prequel song. I don't know what the full title is. Singing her after 2 minutes. You saw it at the performance. She was there, and at some point they switched centers, I believe. Suddenly Neru became center. So they're already planting the seeds, and I think again, from my point of view, management is, we really want her to be the focal point, but we're also worried about her health, and that's more important in the end. But like you said,
or something else, whatever's going on.
Exactly.
Gesundheit.
But I'll say Sagai was definitely the highlight for Kea for the performance. So I give props to her. She did a good job. Well, they all did, actually. All of them did. But I would say it was just awesome to see Kea. But they didn't do my song.
Wow.
I don't even want to say Fukuan. They didn't do it. So I was like, wow, like why? Like, it's like one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to see Kea. They didn't freaking do my freaking song.
Too hot?
So,
Too hot, baby.
whatever. It's just.
I gotta say, I did like their new outfits.
yeah.
No offensive military outfit this time. So let's end on Techi. Again, just be careful, and I think she will be fine. she's also 16, rebellious phase. Maybe her body's going through changes. Maybe it's a certain time of the month. I'm not going into deep to that because then I will get flamed on the comment section too much.
Oh, wow.
Actually, that makes sense though, Robin. To be honest with you,
I don't know.
when you-
I never experienced it, so I don't know how people feel like during that time.
after living with girls a lot, like in my life, yes, you're to be.
Okay.
I want to say spot on, but somehow that sounds horribly wrong in context to what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So never mind. I'll just say.
I
you're
think
on.
Techi will be fine, but please be careful.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to watch Hiragana, Kayaki?
No, you know what? I didn't, because there were so many different things going on, and honestly, like I had other things I wanted to go do. Well, wait, no, because K was on the stage. Did they go off and somebody else come on? I can't remember, to be honest with you.
They combined it. I think they had like Hiragana Kayaki show up during the set list, but it was on day 1, I believe, in the later. So you had like the first performance of Kayakizaki, and then at a later date, I think at the end of the night they had like a big finale with Hiragana.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't catch that. No, yeah, because I was gonna say, because I remember Kaya switched. They had 2 groups come on during it, but again, I was focusing on the Wodas because they were just cracking me up so bad.
I would
yeah,
say
so-
I would say though, it's definitely clear for me who's the biggest. If you count Neru out, because she's also kanji from
Yeah.
Kayakizaka, the Hiragana it's what is it again? Kumi, right?
Yeah, Sasaki Kumi.
Sasaki Kumi. She is just that one is maybe in the next single. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna switch it up, or they're gonna keep Hiragana separate. She is just on fire.
Yep.
I think she's the ace of Hiragana Kayakizaki. Just being there, all shining and all on the performance stage.
Well-
Man, it was amazing.
Well, Kizaka as a whole group has a lot of shining stars at this point, man.
Oh,
A
boy.
lot, and they got a lot of people to choose from. If Techi falls to the wayside, I don't even necessarily think it would be the worst thing in the world. Give the girl a breather, because you have between Sagai, her, Sasaki, all the girls.
Yeah.
There's so many. You just take a pick now. They've carved themselves out, and I have to be honest, Nogi Bingo helped them. Because I mean their personalities are
Kaya Bingo.
really sort-
Yeah,
Kaya Bingo.
Or
Kaya Bingo, not Nogi.
Kakanai helped
sorry,
work a lot.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Give me, it's like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kaya Bingo. Kaya Bingo's been on. I mean, now that it's back, especially, I'm just seeing more and more of them, and I'm loving them, man. I really love. I remember a year ago, I didn't know anything about them, and now they're like the group, So very proud of them. I'll say, just to move it on though. I saw also, just keeping it going, AKB's 16th gen performance. Definitely the highlight for me, because I saw him twice. I saw him in the Heat
nice.
Garage, which was actually
wow.
where was the Zep Diver inside,
Okay.
air
yeah, yeah.
conditioned. So it was awesome. So I didn't die in there. But the thing is, I went in like a few performances before them because I wanted to try to get a spot, and it was impossible because it was so packed. But I lucked out. I saw a dude that was real tensai, like real smart. He was standing right next to the steps, like leading up, well, because there wasn't many steps, but like it kind of raises up, and everybody's using steps, so nobody's in front of him. And he's leaning in one spot. I went right next to him, and me and him became friends, and we were talking about AKB, and like I was like, man, you're so smart, and I could see everything the entire performance. They crushed it. They killed it. Like,
Oh wow.
16 Gen is the future, man, because they started like when they did the AKB overture, and everybody started real pumped, and the Wodas started going nuts, and then I did see a ton of light blades start flashing,
Yeah,
and then next, oh god,
Cause it's actually like, it was actually in a small room, so they actually could use the light.
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually- outside.
Gail, to be honest, it's not small at all in there. It's actually pretty cavernous. But the thing is, it looks really small because the way it's formed when you go towards the stage, it's so dark, and it's packed in there. Because I was up front in that area for other groups that day, and honestly, like it's just packed. But here's the thing: when they came out, it was like, AKB48, and they did River. I was
wow.
oh my god!
Thanks to
My
Nemesis TV.
Awesome.
Everybody went nuts, and it was so loud in there. And as they kept doing more and more of the big singles, it just got crazier and louder and louder. The only thing I'll say though, they only perform for, I want to say 15 minutes or so the first time, because actually, but that actually made sense as I was there more and more, because you couldn't perform longer than 15 minutes because it was so hot. But in there, in the heat garage, you could, because it's air conditioned. So I was like, whatever. But the thing is, it was so packed. But they took time, and every single member said hi, and I'm like, we don't need that. Like, can we just have a song or two instead? So I was a little surprised they did that. And they did it twice, because they performed at a place called Smile Garden later, which I'll get to. And they did this, like, I'm just like, we know who you are. We don't need introductions, you know.
They're still learning. How was it to see Ayamin up close?
Actually, I had the best time watching her, because she's perfect. Like, she danced so well. All of them did good. I would say Zuntan, which is Chris's favorite, killed it. She was incredible. But I would say I'm gonna skip HKT for a moment, because I saw it was like AKB and then HKT, like one after the other pretty much. But I would say when I saw AKB 16 Gen at Smile Garden later that day, Smile Garden's outside. It's the worst place ever to see a group, because the way the hills are, it's like,
the hills are annoying, really annoying,
But so I worked my way little by little by little towards the stage, but the closest I got was on the side, and the side area, I was like right in front of the photographer pit. So basically, you took a chance if you were going to see the stage or not, because the photographers had stools, so they were standing. So you were lucky if you saw the stage. But it worked out awesome for me for two reasons. One, as I was watching AKB, I actually had a pretty clear view. I lucked out the way, just where I was positioned, I could see everything. But as I was standing there, lo and behold, I looked to my side, and there's freaking Nasagawa from Kei Kizaka standing this close to me. And at first I had to look, but she had the artist badge, and there was artists, and she had security around her. She stood and watched, and I looked at her, and I'm just like, Nasagawa? And she like kind of like looked, and then looked. She didn't want to look at the crowd, but everybody near me was like, Nasagawa. And like, she's like this close to me. I could see everything. So I started watching her more, and I was like, I'm literally this close to Nasagawa. And like, she's watching AKB with me and just enjoying herself. And then right before she had come, AKB's 16 Gen was in the backer. I had a clear view of the backstage. And guess who I saw? I saw Ayami. But before I saw her, I saw Zuntan. Zuntan was like really getting into the group before they went on. I mean, she was like doing all like the mixes and everything. She was like, she was like just jamming it. And she looked over, and I started going like this, and she looked at me, and then she smiled, and she's like this. And then Ayami came over, and then I was like this, and then Zuntan saw me, pointed to Ayami, and then Ayami looked at me, and I'm like this, and I was like this. And when I did that, Ayami was like this, and then she was like, I was like, oh. So I actually got to say hi in a way to the girl that I love the most. And weirdly enough, it was only Zuntan and Ayami I saw, because the other girls are kind of on the side. Only Ayami and only Zuntan was there, and I got to say hi to them both. And Ayami like specifically looked at me because no one else was doing it. I looked around, nobody noticed. It was just me. And normally, okay, here's the thing. In the idol world, idol culture, you leave them alone. If they're not on the stage, you don't pay attention to them. I was like, screw that. This is my Oshi. I'm gonna let her know, like, you were the 16 Gen girl, like, for me. You always have been. And there she was, and she like, and when she was like this, I was like, yes! It was the best thing ever.
At this moment, the jealousy has overflowed. I'm now pissed off.
No, don't be happy, because you're gonna have the same experience.
I'm happy for you. It's just more like, I wish I really was at that festival. The whole experience you're telling me, this is the festival experience, and it happens to be idol cultured. You know, I've been to big festivals, you know, rock concerts and stuff like that. And yes, what you're telling me, this is the festival experience. Even the highs and lows, you know, the heat, the people, the crowds, watching them. This is such a fun experience to be there, and it gets me pumped up, and I'm wishing like, maybe we should have gone a little bit sooner over to Japan and just focus on Idol Festival. But then again, maybe you didn't if you go first for the country of Japan. Still, this
Yeah,
will be on my list to go for the future because
Definitely.
even if you're not only for AKB48, you just said there, a lot of idol groups are there. There were literally hundreds and hundreds of groups there. And performing, combining, taking pictures, and even Suchi was there, hanging out with Sashi, doing MC stuff. Just, this was so much fun.
The interesting part was there were a lot of times tons of other idols were watching the idol groups, and they're like right there, like right next to you. So, but Natsugawa was probably the most famous person that was next to me. But I also I don't know if you know Perfume. Perfume. Achan's sister is in 99. And I was standing next to 99's like booth area at one point during the merch section for one of the days, and one of the girls in 99, she has the blonde hair. She walked over out of nowhere and looked at me and smiled, and she did this, and then she pointed at the big poster, and she's like, "I'm her," and I just started laughing because I looked, I'm like, eh, and she just started laughing, and then all of a sudden all these fans like swarmed her, but she like came over to me and went like this, "See, look, I'm her." I was like cracking. It's like any given moment.
Very famous.
Very famous. Any given moment, there were just idols just everywhere.
Yep, they were just scattered around. They were scattered around at the compound. Yeah. So
yeah.
I had the same experience myself. Had the experience myself in 2014. I was like, wait a sec, didn't I just saw her at the perform? What?
Yeah, it was cool.
There were also a lot of AKB members hanging around there. I saw a picture of Shimada Haruka, hanging out at the festival. And just the Twitter feed was getting insane, like idols meeting different idol groups or just showing up and taking pictures with each other. Did you, by the way, have a chance to see STU perform?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. So,
okay.
So let me go back. So I saw HKT in the Heat Garage right after AKB's Heat Garage performance, and HKT also killed it. Vivian destroyed. It was Vivian all day long because it wasn't like HKT's top group. There was no Sakura Time. There's no Harupi. It was like it was kind of like when I went and saw HKT, or when HKT did their mini live at their Handshake event. It was the second stage area where I was right next to it. It was that lineup. So it was like their second and third tier members, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
Not saying anything bad about Vivian. Not saying she's second or third tier. I'm just saying it wasn't like their top lineup. And so, but like Maria was there, Nakumiku. So like you did have big members there, but it was honestly I couldn't take my eyes off Vivian, especially because she centered one of the songs at the end, and she just danced so well. She shone above everyone. Maria was the only other one that actually could touch her with the dancing, because Maria, anytime, she's so little and she's so ganky, like it's hard to not just smile watching her. But Vivian, honestly, that girl owns. And before they even went on, it was funny. There was a couple that was like, Vivian, and like they just wouldn't shut up, and it was so funny because we would start laughing. Because it's like this girl, it was her all day long. I'm telling you, future of AKB or HKT, if she sticks around long enough.
She's a showroom genius.
Yep.
Is she?
Yeah.
Like she is.
You?
Wait. I'm saying, you were saying the member lineup. It's based, because I think one of the MC parts, they're like, oh, we're not gonna lose to the first two generations of HKT, and we're basically the next generation of HKT. We're like
they
third, fourth, and draft second. So
yeah,
that's
like,
what they were saying. Yeah.
I skipped HKT at night only because it was way late. I had a bunch of groups I would have had to wait in the hot stage area. It was too hot there. And to be honest, like a lot, like when I saw AK or 16 Gen perform, they did basically the same set, so to speak. I mean, they switched it up a little for the Smile Garden. I thought, they're probably going to do the same thing for HKT. And even if they didn't, I don't know, like I just didn't want to wait. So I just saw HKT in the Heat Garage. That was good enough for me,
Takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, too, a lot of the groups were performing a lot of the same classes. I felt like I was watching a whole set list of AKB's last, 20 singles, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And not saying that's bad. I'm glad they performed songs I, know very well. But it was also, I noticed over the course of 3 days, each of the groups did different songs in order to kind of give you the full AKB experience. But they also kept doing like the same song. Like I must have heard Ponytail Toshushu like every
Wow.
like I want to say 100 times, but it obviously wasn't. But
It's a little too much, you know. You can eat and eat and eat, but at one moment you're full, and then it's like, okay, perform. I'll just go over here right now. There's something else.
Right.
That's fine.
Well, I just had other things to do. Like there's just so many other things I wanted to do, so I had to really space my time out. I did eventually later in the day go see STU48. Again, it was another case of being stuck in line. I missed their overture, but I did get in there for a song. So same situation as Kea. STU really, honestly, they were underwhelming in the sense that like they were good. Sashi, of course, runs her girls well. To me, the only real big thing I think at that point, for me, I was really tired at that point. But I would say for STU, it was Nachan all day long. When they did Flying Get, she was the center, and everybody was freaking out because when they did dun 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 dun, and we were like, who's the center? Who's the center? And then Nachan was like this, and everyone was like, whoa, started freaking out. And oh my God, Robin, she shunned so beautifully. She actually, I almost forgot Sashi was there. Because it was like Nachan, like it was her all day long on that stage. The other girls were good. They didn't stand out, but they were good. But again, it was just a case of just doing the singles and then like their own, and it was just like it was good. I mean, Sashi was funny, but it was Nachan. It was, you know, I almost didn't see anyone else.
Did you notice something on Nachan's arm, by the way? Her left arm.
Can't say I did.
Here. That's the thing with Nachan. I've been noticing this like in several performances. We just talked about Techi being tired out. We must not forget Nachan is also have some body issues, had like disease as well. Lately I noticed when she's performed she puts on a band-aid for like large events, and when you put on a band-aid here, that's for like IV. So I think she just got a little boost, maybe some vitamins or sugar. I don't know what they actually use to keep her pumped up, to keep her energized for the whole event.
Oh, I see.
That works too. But the STU part, I saw a little bit of the performance. First of all, I'm gonna say this out loud now. The whole Takino Yumiko showroom, Yumirin, there was a whole controversy like, oh, how could Nachan do this to her? That poor girl, this and that and that. Basically, what happened? Yumirin on her showroom called Nachan for the first time ever and asked her to be on the Junken unit team. And she was like, oh, thank you, I'm so happy, but I'm already in a unit. And she's like, you see, it's like, a little crushed and a little sad, and you can feel for her. And people were like, oh, how could she do this? Actually, Yumirin is now even closer with Nachan ever before because of that phone call. And I don't think it's a whole issue. The way they perform together, it's like this whole... I don't know what it is with Nachan. Every time she has like a focus on a new member, she sucks so many in. It's like, that's why we call it a harem, because there are so many that she follows, and she has a flavor of the month. Currently, that's the from Teammate. I'm forgetting her name again. You know the
Ayasaka?
one.
Ayasaka?
Is it
Tsuchan.
Yeah,
Tsuchan. Yeah, that's currently the one she's been dating for a few weeks. Still hang out with Yuri though. Must not forget Yuri.
The girlfriend.
Yeah, but on the STU side, definitely Takano Yumiko is stuck on her like a fly on a flypaper set. But they performed well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, justice for Kuka. So I'm on that campaign, justice for Kuka. So yeah, for STU. That's it.
So get there. I liked Takano Yumiko. She's definitely the reason why she's center. It's very visible.
Yeah, I would say she didn't shine as bright as I thought she would on the performance. But again, when you're standing next to Sashi and Nachan, it's hard to shine. They soak it all up. And I will say that STU, after watching them perform, I think they need a little bit more work. I will say that they definitely will come into their own. I think they just announced their tour too, which I'm very happy to hear.
The boat's finished.
Weird. Yeah, it's not really happening, but that's okay because it feels now like it might be more of just a teammate version style group. They're gonna just go around and tour. Hey, I'm cool with that. I mean, whatever. As long as we get to see them. Go ahead, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, their tour is basically what Seto Ichi is.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you know.
Makes sense, yeah.
So I'm okay with that, though. Like, to be honest with you, I want to see the girls get their own variety show. I want to see more of their personalities come out. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. When NGT, that really helped them. To basically stand on their own. NGT had 2 big members join them with Yukirin and Ritan and basically school them and help them. Sashi and Natchan are helping STU. Now what they need is more of their own show. They need more personality come out. Once that happens, I think STU will explode. But right now, what I saw on that stage, to be honest, I think they really deserve to be in like the Heat Garage or like a smaller thing on their own. I understand Sashi and Natchan were there, so you have to kind of put them on the big stage. But it's like I almost felt like they needed more something else. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not bashing them at all. I just think compared to all the other performances I saw, they were probably last on the list. So I'm telling you,
totally reasonable.
16 Gen crushed it. They were ridiculous. And I gotta be honest with you, like, they're gonna be the group to look at in the next couple years. Like, I can see going in the next few years, like, we're gonna do nothing but talk about 16 Gen.
There's been a rumor that they will not, when they promote 16 Gen, they won't put them in different teams. They will keep the group together as a separate entity. It's like
I'm really seeing that and
Team
thinking
16.
that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm cool with that because they're kind of creating their own little bubble within AKB because they work so well now. But when you look at their history and all the stuff they've been through, it makes sense. They have been put through the grinder. And think about it, they're coming on the tail end of all these generation AKB. They have all this pressure weighing down on them. I gotta tell you, they handled it gracefully in front of me twice. When I saw them, and they did great, and they were having fun. Like I said, when I was looking backstage, just watching Zuchen just like totally get into the performance of another idol group. I was thinking like, okay, like they're not nervous. They're ready. They're good to go. Like like they look like they commanded it because they've done this so much now.
Again, with the whole Nemesis series, performing first. All right, you have 2 hours to learn beginner.
Beginner, yeah.
Beginner. Okay, you failed. Well, you may have a revenge chance. Okay, they study how to do beginner. They perform beginner at the next event. Oh, very nice. You were there, Derek. They perform beginner. All right, how about River? Try River. Okay. Well, River didn't fail. Okay, let's have a revenge one. Do River. Okay, how about Uza? It's like, Jesus.
You tried to kill them?
And then they get rewarded. Okay, here's Murayama Yuri, the theater goddess now. Apparently she promoted from Angel to Goddess. I don't know when. She will now write a whole stage for you, and then you get to perform. Oh yeah, let's see, this member. How about you? Why don't you perform, the solo from Fujita Nana's...
Yamauchi Mizuki.
Like they are really building them up, and I would say it's a mistake. I don't know, it's a rumor right now, but I would say it's a big mistake if they're like, okay, we're gonna promote you, and you're gonna go to Team A, Team B, Team 4, but then you'll disrupt the whole unity, and that's, I don't know. Maybe this is the first group. Maybe they're testing something out. There still will be Team A, K, and B. But not anymore as usual, because you see it also in the theater performance right now. They're still performing like Team A, Team B, but there's more like the improvised stages, like Thumbnail or like the new one or this one.
Inoue Yoshimasa, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm just saying, like, I think the teams are just paper now, cause like you literally see everyone perform a stage. Like, every single one is basically a Kenkyusei. Like, Yuri, like, last night, like, she was in Team A performance on Meow's birthday stage. Like, she's from Team 4, but, like, she's performing Team A. And, like, it happens so much now. Like teams are just papers now, basically. Because, like, even on that one...
I said shuffle to fix that problem. They didn't. That's why this is happening.
Yeah,
But
all
I was just
the
gonna say
special
one word,
stages,
shuffle.
all the special
One
stages.
word,
Yeah.
shuffle. Yeah.
I would say
Um,
now don't do shuffle because then 60 gem will be split up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I don't.
want
I
to do
don't
that.
want them to be split up. I want them to do their own thing, like, and keep doing it because they're really growing together as a unit. And I think anybody on the ground level. I mean, if I'm a fan and I can see that on the ground level with their work, their managers and their the people that help them day to day, they have to see that. So I'm hoping something will be carved out for them within the AKB universe. But like you said, it almost feels like paper at this point that the teams have any alignment because it's not like the team pride thing that it was years ago where
Yeah.
Team B, Team A were so like at each other's throats. Now it's almost like, oh, teammate cool, oh, teammate cool. Like there really isn't that identity it feels anymore. But not to say they couldn't go back to it, but it just right now doesn't feel. It's just whoever's performing is whoever's performing.
It's AKB.
Yep.
Yeah, so I went and saw a couple more. I'm just gonna run through this. So I of course my big group was SKE. I actually managed to get a very decent spot for SKE somehow. I don't know how I did. I wasn't like up front or anything. You just couldn't get up front at all. But I would say I was about 20 rows back, which is good. Considering it was probably 50 to 60 rows. So I had a clear view of the stage. I would say I was really disappointed because Tani wasn't there. Neither was Kaltan. But
She
that
was buying a
disappointment
photo book or a flash magazine.
I would say that makes sense somehow for her. I would say that disappointment went away in about 3 seconds because they did all SKE songs basically, so their set was totally and utterly unique to everyone else's set that day. Also, or of all the groups actually. Also, Yurina wiped the frickin' stage with her dancing. That girl live is a whole other beast when it comes to watching dancing, and their outfits were real nice. I'll say Kitagawa Ryoha really impressed me with her dancing as well, even though she's not a member that I particularly care for in SKE. She shunned really well. Who's the girl that's the center for the new single? Is it Obata?
Obata Yuna.
Okay, that girl, they gave her the chance. They did the single. The single still sucks in my opinion. I don't care for it at all. But live, you thought it would translate. It didn't translate for me, but the fans it sure as heck translated for. They were having a good time with it, especially when it went splash and everybody's jumping splash. So people like that. But Obata did great on stage. SKE had this real calm on stage. Like they're pros, like they handled their business. Dasu was funny. Churi was really funny. And then of course at the end we had Oya Masana come out and they announced the graduation stage or graduation. Which go ahead, Robin.
On the 24th of September.
Looks to be a matinee.
Flash.
Sorry, Robin, you're leaving that day. Maybe you should have. Just one more day. Could have stayed. You could have saw both potentially. So, I would say though SKE's performance when they did Pareo Y Emerald was it was just pure bliss. But the performance of the day for me for them was Bukio no Tayo. When they slowed stuff down and they sung, their voices just shone, and it was a perfect summer song. I had tears a little bit in my eyes because it was just really emotional to see them. And the fans weren't as obnoxious as like the WOTA stuff going on for SKE as they were for all the other groups. So that was cool. I'm not saying they were obnoxious in general. Maybe that's the wrong word.
Was Furahata Nao there, by the way?
Yeah, she was there. She crushed it. Oh my God, Naotan was whoa. They had their A game. They had all their A members there. Minaroon was really funny when Minaroon came up and because of course everybody said who they were. But she's like, "Hi, I'm Minaroon. Nogizaka 46. I love, and my Oshima is Nishino Nanase." It was like so random. Everybody started laughing, and like it was just like.
I think actually Nishino did the reverse thing and said SKE. So maybe that's a whole inside joke.
That's funny. That makes sense then. But Minaroon was like very she kind of stood out in that sense. Churi tried to get the crowd real pumped up. And so that was really fun to watch her just get into it. But they just didn't like look at any point out of place. They even had a Kenkisei on the stage. I forget who, and she even looked like she'd been there for 20 years. I swear, like just what she did. They had such veteran showmanship to them, and they had everybody going. Like right from song one. It was just all across the board, SKE all day long. So it was a great performance. Would have been my number one if Tani had been there, but she wasn't, so they dropped them down a few. So they were good, but I wasn't ready for the insanity that was NGT48.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god! Like, okay, SK was like the warm-up. When NGT came on, it was Woda insanity. From the front all the way to the back. I mean, Wodas were dancing so hard for them. At one point, I saw a shoe go flying in the air.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not making this up. I saw glasses go flying in the air and broke, and some dude just threw them again. Like, somebody handed me, just threw it again. They were doing, like, the moves. When they did the mixes, which I heard about 4,000 times this weekend, like, they were going down to the cement and bringing it up, like, Tiger, Fire, Fire, and they were, like, all in this massive circle, and it was, like, getting so crazy, like, the security had to stop them. It was, like, the waters exploded for NGT. It was insane.
One question, though. Did they perform their first single? You know, the carnival music fair stupid song.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, they did. Every group that had a single perform their single, I want to say. So
how was it live? Or you don't remember it? It's blocked because of all the excitement around it.
I wasn't necessarily blocked by that because at this point I'd seen so much Woda craziness. Like, it was cool, but it's like, you know, I was like, okay, I gotta focus. Because the big thing for a lot of them with Wodas now were like jumping up and down in space like a pogo stick, and then blowing balloons and like letting them go, which a lot of people are doing. But I would say, like, I was blinded by the massive hotness of NGT. Oh my god! Like, when did they become the hot group? Like, Ogi was perfect looking. Mahone had long hair, gorgeous beyond gorgeous. Yukirian just, like, I mean, she just looked so perfect. Riton, like, Katamina was just ridiculous. Like, I was just like Nakai Rika, anytime she was on the stage, there was a bunch of was like, Kawaii Rika! Like, and people started laughing because, like, like, it was just, every time she was on, like, Katamina? The big screen. Well, Katamina was so hot, it wasn't even funny. But, like, she actually was, like, she didn't shine. It was more Ogi, it was more Nakai Rika, it was more Yukirian, it was all Yukirian all day. Even Riton took kind of, like, third step to those two. So that was interesting. Like, between Ogi and Yukirian, and then I'd say Nakai Rika, those three got the most attention. But also for me, they had a lot of good shots of Mahone, and like they had her on the screen so much. Of course, this guy was in heaven. She didn't like stand out, like, as far as like MC or anything like that, but she was just so hot. Like, these girls. Oh, even Okapa like looked ridiculous. Like, she looked so. I know that sounds weird to say because I told you how I think she's an elf, like from Lord of the Rings, but like she seriously looked amazing. Those girls wiped the stage with everything. Easily one of the better performances, but more because the Wodas made it fun and because the hotness made it awesome to watch. Like, whew. Like, I was like, oh,
this
boy.
This is really
like,
your money worth to be there.
Yep.
No wonder it's so expensive. But it's
was worth
great.
it.
It's worth it.
But
it's worth it, man.
Here's the thing. Like, the thing is like, they did, the majority of the songs they did was a lot of the songs I heard already because it was, like, singles. Not that that's a bad thing.
It's just the appearance, you know, just the festival. Hey, this is who we are. You probably heard. If you're a fan, you already know this. If you're not, please enjoy.
Welcome.
It's an introduction to their groups. That's what the Tokyo Idol Festival is, I think.
The AKB fandom didn't care. They just wanted to go crazy. So it was like, put on a song we know. We're gonna go 8 SH, you know. But I would say also too, a surprise. Okay. And this is something we're going to have to talk about and kind of keep our eyes on in the future if it goes somewhere, was Love. Oh my god.
You mean the Sashi group, the Equal Love?
Yeah, Equal Love, yeah. Equal Love.
Okay, Love? Yeah, Equal Love. Like, they were ridiculously good. They did all AKB songs.
Oh, really?
So yeah, everybody was surprised. They only did, I think they have one song. They did that at the end, which kind of sucked because everybody started leaving as they did their own song, and I like to like kind of beat the crowd going out. But they did all AKB songs. So, and they didn't just do it. Their voices were so good. They got a few really good singers in their group. I don't know. There was one girl, her voice just shone above a lot of them. I got to know more about them. So I would say for anybody watching our show, check them out. Keep your eye on them. I could actually see them joining the AKB universe a lot more.
Is this their first performance?
It was I want to say it was their very first performance, because I thought I heard them say, it was like, how'd you, you know, like, it's our first time.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta be honest, they perform like they've been performing for 10 years. Like,
Really?
their dancing was so good.
The thing is, they're handpicked by Sashi.
Yep.
She did a great
And
job.
She knows her stuff, and Sashi knows her stuff.
Yeah, the girl who seemed like the leader, again, I don't know any names, but I think it was her that had the voice. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets migrated into AKB if Equal Love doesn't go anywhere. But I will say this, their single was pretty catchy. I stayed, I watched, it was good. I didn't have a problem with it. I'll say it was more the same. Okay, so it wasn't like it didn't stand out per se, but them doing all the AKB songs really stuck because it got the whole crowd. Everyone was surprised. So everybody started going even really nuts for the Woda dancing. They just, I don't know, they stuck out for me really well in a big way. I'll say Equal Love, it's on the radar.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Okay, before you go on, last group?
Oh,
Perfect, because then we can wrap it up after that.
I got one more, unless you had something you want to say.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Team 8, I saw, I had a chance to see him twice. I didn't go to Smile Garden to see him. I saw them on the hot stage. That was my last performance for the Idol Festival. I went home after that because skin just too hot. Also, just I started seeing a lot of the AKB groups do a lot of the same songs. But Team 8, okay, like, just when I thought I saw enough Woda insanity, I wasn't expecting that. Because I opted to not go closer to the stage. I opted to go right. There was like a little break area where like you had the cameras set up. But if you didn't mind about the cameras, you could actually see the stage really well because there weren't any fans in front of you for like 3-4 rows. So I had clear shot for the most part. So I got right up on the gate and I was there. And there was a group of Wodas next to me, like the Woda cheering section. It was a mini one. There were some girls next to me dancing. When they came on, they did Love Trip. I was like, yes. And they did Koisura Fortune Cookie. They closed it out. It was cool. But in between.
Did they do it? Please let me. That their perfect song, 47 something called again. What's the song again? Their famous song.
Yeah, Yurina no sticky knife.
Yeah, you're the flute.
Yeah, I want to say they did because I was gonna say NGT came out with and and they did that song and that was perfect for them because it got as soon as they came on everybody was going nuts. But no, the thing I remember about Team 8, the thing that I took away from it was First Rabbit because when they did First Rabbit, I heard some commotion behind me and I look back. And it's the big parking lot area where basically it was like Woda dancing area. Easily 200 people were doing this, but they were down on their knees or like they were bouncing like rabbits. So all these people were down like this, like 200 freaking Wodas in a circle just dancing like rabbits.
Yes.
And I was what the HE double hockey sticks am I seeing? And they just kept getting more and more wild. At one point, I forget what song it was. I think it was Ponytail or something. I forget. Everybody was in a big circle in the back, that same group. It was this massive group. Easily, I'd say 500 people, if I had to guess. I was trying to count. It was easily 500 people. They were all in a circle. And then at the one part of the song, when it like the chorus broke in, they all rushed in the middle like a mosh pit, and they were all just dancing and stuff, and all the security had to like, come on, you got to get away. And then they did it again, and then one dude went in the middle, and he was like a choir director leading everybody while there was dudes around him blowing balloons, and like everybody was doing the mixing to him, and it was just like what the
Where am I?
What am I watching? Like, I started watching that more than the thing because it was like I've never seen that many wotas going that nuts.
Just imagine you're on stage and you're like still singing and you're like, what the hell is happening?
They had to have seen it because it was the whole back area. Like, you couldn't miss it. So I'm sure if they saw it on stage, they saw everybody dancing like rabbits. Like, I don't know, but it was funny because like, and then wotas were like, they were doing this thing where they were, a couple of them were challenging each other to like do this like as much as possible, like on the and like they were going over the gates and they were doing it like trying to reach to the ground and go all the way up. And a couple of them were like falling over the gates and then they started running around the gates. And then they came back before security could get them. And then everybody was clear chap like cheering for them. I mean, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Team 8 killed it. Yui was amazing. She's the one I took the most out of it because every time she was on, people went extra nuts for her. Team 8 definitely had a great time. When everybody did Koisira Fortune Cookie, the wotas kind of included me, so I was doing like the dancing with them and and like doing this. Like, everybody was cool with me doing it, and then like we were doing the da 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 da, and then it just, I look back, it's just like row after row after row after row of people lined up doing it. It was the most glorious thing I could see as an AKB fan. Glorious.
It's amazing, man.
It was a good way to leave the festival with that. I'll say this in closing about the festival though. And this is kind of serious, so I just want to say this quick. I'm not sure if I would ever go again, just because it's an Odaiba. The heat really is formidable. I'd say you think you can handle it, but by the middle of the day, you're so I'm sunburned. Not that's a big deal, but it's just, it really hits you hard. Also, the way they have the stage set up, unless you're there early in the morning and you're up front, you never leave. You're not going to get a good spot. But for me, there was a problem I had, and I'm just going to call this out. Like, I kind of experienced racism there, and I was really disappointed by that because there was a lot of foreigners there. But I was up front for a couple of the groups in like the Heat Garage, and I had my backpack, and at one point, like, there's like the railing for the front, and then I'm like one row behind, and everybody's putting their backpacks in front of the railing because you could like just put your backpack.
Festival stuff.
And so and I'm in front of a bunch of wotas that are like diehard wotas, got their bandanas on. They all basically look like sports gym members, and I tapped the one dude on the shoulder for this particular performance, and I was like, can I put my backpack there? And he looked at me like, dame. And then literally 3 seconds later, 2 Japanese girls asked me if they could do it. And it's like, oh, sure, go ahead. And I'm just like, and I was like, what are you doing, man? And then like he stared at me the whole time for the performance, and I didn't want to fight because it's like, I'm having a good time. Yeah. But I also experienced that a few more times in various ways. I don't think I'm being oversensitive by this. I did notice that there was a lot of that kind of going on. I'll say, it was disappointing, but at the same time, on the flip side, I made a lot of friends. A lot of Japanese people came over and just talked to me. So you're gonna have good and bad. I would just say if you're gonna go to the festival, just be aware.
Experience it, yeah. No, there's any location. There's always a few bad rotten apples in a big pile of freshly apples in a basket. Yeah, sure. It sucks, I would say. I
don't mean to end on a down note.
No. It's a very good point. To keep people informed.
It's something like if you want to join like all the wotas and if you know the mixes, great, then go do it, have fun. Somebody's gonna have fun with you. I experienced as much love and friendship as I did that. Well, I'd say I experienced a lot more of that actually, friendship and people were cool to me. But I laughed it off eventually. I was like, whatever. Because again, I might be totally misunderstanding. It could have been a cultural difference, but because I could enough Japanese and I was literally 3 seconds later when I get deferred. I don't think there's anything to misunderstand there. However, I will say this: the festival, it's not the most pleasant experience. You have to have the endurance to do it.
Yeah.
But do I regret it? No. I would do it again for this festival. If they do it again next, I think for me, I'm gonna focus more on seeing groups individually because, case in point, yesterday I came home early after I saw Team 8, and then I went and saw Yanakoto Muto in Ikebukuro in the smallest club ever, and it's probably one of the greatest shows of my life. ever because I was right up front and my Oshi was like this close to my freaking face the entire time singing. I prefer that. I realize for me the club scene is more my thing. The big thing isn't. But if you're a first timer going to see AKB, the festival is a sure thing you're going to see them. And I would say it's worth your money to do it in that sense. For me, I think I'm graduating officially, I think, from doing big festivals, things like that. I think I'm more of a club person. So hopefully I'll get to see AKB in the theaters. But I would say this was kind of like my official goodbye to doing festivals. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind in a year, but I don't think I will. So it was
now you had your
it was a
fill.
lot.
Well said.
It was just a lot.
Well said, I would say.
Well said.
Yo.
So you're not going to the AKB's Yukata Matsuri, the Natsu Matsuri?
Probably not. I think handshake events are enough for me in terms of all Wodas gathered in one place in a large venue.
I'm just saying, that festival is actually a handshake event, so you have to have tickets to actually go in.
Oh well, that's whatever. No, but I'm saying for me, if it's a seated concert, then sure, because then you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But it's like this was like free for all, basically.
All right.
I'm not want to do that. But anyways, it was a great experience. Thank you for letting me talk about it. I had so much more I'm going to write about and talk about, but thank you so much. AKB was awesome. Definitely fun. I think you guys, I just can't wait for you to experience it.
I would say that would be the recommendation for this week, if you can find it, if it's somewhere. Maybe in the next couple of days it will be uploaded somewhere. Go watch Tokyo Idol Festival.
Yep.
I think, and not only AKB48, just go watch the whole experience, the performance, and maybe there will still be something to your liking. I will definitely check something out. I see the Nogizaka 46 performance is up, so I'm gonna watch that in a bit. You didn't see that one, did you, Derek?
Sorry, Josh, but they just don't do it for me. It was too late at night. I just want to get home. I had other things I had going on that night, so
I'm really getting into Nogizaka for lately. It's because of work. It's because the only thing on that thing I can play. Still, it's pretty fun songs. And the usual shows. Keiya Bingo is coming up again. Nogizaka no Construction, Keiki Kakanai, Heike Bingo is going to be pretty fun.
Yep.
Heike Bingo!
The Moe battles. The Moe battles. Suda Akari crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
or just now in the preview, the guy pressing the button and then crashing the table.
I'm just saying that would happen to me because I'm actually a former football player, so like.
Somehow you saying you're a former football player trumps everything I just said. I don't know why, but in my head, that is the funniest thing I think.
Seeing him on the field and playing, catching the ball.
I just can't.
What was your position, Yo?
I'm an offensive lineman, so like.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just imagining now, just Yale with this big smile, like, gonna get you.
Hey, I was actually happy with my helmet on, like when I got
so happy.
Hey, it's your turn now. I'm like, okay, whatever, let's go.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready. It's like, put me in, coach. I'm ready. We're on defense. Thanks for that, Yo.
Yo. Trumps everything I just said.
All right, DX. What's your recommendations for next week?
No, everything. I wanted to say Eike Bingo with the Moe battle, but it's already been said, so I'm listless pretty much. So.
Derek, go ahead.
Not so much a recommendation, but a suggestion. I saw a lot of great idol groups this weekend. Some new ones I haven't seen, which I was happy about, and kind of made me a fan. I would say, for everyone that watches us that likes AKB, they're a gateway. There are, as I found this weekend, hundreds of great idol groups in Japan. Go find yourself a smaller one too. Go find yourself one you can actually go see in a club up close and personal, and you can meet them. Because I think you'll see the AKB is of course they're the masters, but there are so many other great groups. You're missing out if you just limit yourself to AKB. So that would be my suggestion. Go on YouTube and find more. And there's it's so easy. So. Yeah,
and always keep in check on DerekVasconi.com because your blog.
I got plenty to tell you.
You got very long time.
Talked about, so
I'll be happy to read it when it comes out.
Yep, same here, man.
Hey, that Canadian guy, you got something?
I just wanna say like what you were saying before, like the thing you were talking about, like when you're performing on stage. You know, when you were performing, you said, "Oh, what if they're like performing and the water gaze
Oh,
does
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
stuff?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
I actually like that's why I was gone 2 weeks ago, because I actually did literally do a water gay on a dance performance in an anime convention, and they
Nice.
were literally crying, and I was using ultra oranges like this stuff.
Oh wow.
So yeah, just saying, you know, I'm actually a water now, like part of the water, like hoo ha hoo ha hoo ha.
Yeah, Shitshow.
Yeah,
So,
I so much this weekend. Like my head is all it's like constant loop. Like it just yeah. Woo, woo, just, it's too
Oh,
much. Like I
crazy.
know I can like do it now easily.
Awesome. Okay then. With that said, thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk. We'll see you next time then. Bye bye everybody.
Jojo, take it away.
Hashtag. Why am I here right now?